Hospitality, listen, is a key element in the Scriptures. And it's something that I believe, especially in this Western world, that we have completely lost touch with. Most of us don't really know what it means to be hospitable. Now, I'm not laying charge to any of you individually, and actually we're a very hospitable group, and I love that about you. But when you look at the examples in Scripture of hospitality, they took it intensely, right? It was a very high priority to be hospitable. It sincerely elevates the value of other people over oneself. Hospitality is willing to put your needs, your situation, your challenges above my own and say, I'm going to care about what's going on in your life, take you in, help you out, support you, provide for you, do things for you that may actually put me out. And there's many examples in Scripture of this. It is actually a key element throughout all of the Scriptures. We see this element of hospitality. Don't believe me? Think about some of the passages and the stories of the Old Testament. Abraham. Remember when 3 guys shows up? Now, I think Abraham had a pretty good idea that these weren't just ordinary guys. Okay, I think he did. But what did they do? Wait here. And they went, grabbed a fatted lamb, butchered that lamb, prepared it, and provided it. And guys, that wasn't throwing something like a TV dinner in the microwave. You know what I'm saying? That took some time, effort, sacrifice. It's hours. They literally went and prepared like a 4-course meal for them. Are we like that? Someone shows up. I got some cold pizza in the refrigerator. You want it? Now, I will say that some of you, and probably many of you, do have a gift of hospitality. But what we do with that term, oh, I have the gift of hospitality. And then other people, well, I don't. Really? Because I think it's actually commanded for all Christians to be hospitable. I don't actually think that you're allowed to make that excuse, oh, I don't have the gift of... What you mean is you're not okay with being put out. And for some reason, that person over there is accepting the idea of being put out. And I've been told I have the gift of hospitality. It's actually a requirement for the pastorate. If you look at the requirements for a pastor, they need to be hospitable, right? But I believe that the Scriptures would teach us all. What about Rahab? Is Rahab hospitable? Absolutely. And we could go on and on and on. How about the fact that the law literally instructs the need for taking care of the stranger? The Old Testament law gives very clear instructions towards hospitality. The Old Testament's full of hospitality. What about the New Testament? Well, I believe you can find it woven all through the gospel and the early practices of the church, where you could make a really strong case that from beginning to end, hospitality is a key theme in the Scriptures. Now, what does the word mean? If you just look up a basic definition, the friendly and generous reception and entertainment of guests and visitors. The friendly and generous reception and entertainment of guests and visitors. A local church in the area does this. It just kind of came to mind as a good example, like I kind of experienced Old Testament hospitality style. They do like a Christmas banquet each year, and it's like dinner at the inn in Bethlehem. And so the whole idea is that you have residents at the Bethlehem Inn, but Jesus is getting, not let in. And they go through this whole scenario, but there's such a sense of like old Eastern hospitality in that event. And as I was sitting there, I just couldn't help realizing we're not like this at all today. We don't welcome people in and give them a place. Again, a lot of us do, some of us don't. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. I'll be honest, in my house, there's a little bit of a wrestle sometimes because my wife, although she'll cook you up a mad meal and she is very hospitable, it is against her natural inclination. That's a really good way of saying it, right, Abby? Because she is hospitable. But if I didn't make her, she wouldn't be. Right? It's not her natural bend. And I go, honey, let's have him over. And she always goes, okay. And I could see her going, You know what I mean? Because like most of you women, you want your house perfectly spotless. And which one of you does it look like? Let's say this right. When we come over, does it always look like that? When you know we're coming over? No, none of our houses look like that when you're not coming over. Let's all be honest. Maybe a few of you, and I know who you are, but you're in the ADD section, right? But the rest of us normal people, our houses are a mess when you're not there, and it's maybe a little cleaner when you are. That's about it, right? And let's be real with each other. Who cares if it's cluttered and a mess? Let's just enjoy each other, right? Don't use that as an excuse to not have people over.